Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for July 25th, 2020, with your host, Beastbear2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
We are on the cusp of a new rider being released.
Yay.
Because the press conference is Tuesday. So, assuming we don't get the television scans this weekend, we will see it by Tuesday.
Assuming the internet is done trolling over Saber.
More or less. But yeah, we have a couple different shows and an assortment of other things to talk about. So this will be an interesting show to talk about, and nothing else but Halo, more or less, for an hour.
Pretty much, yeah. Although we have kind of gotten some of that out, so
yeah,
it might not be as bad, but yeah.
But yeah, before we get into all the new stuff, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Well, I've done another Ninjala speedrun. I think sub 35 is possible. Like, I got 36 and had some screw-ups, so I think sub 35 is possible. Found out that I'm super rusty on like every other speedrun I've tried to do. Like, super rusty. I have gotten to play pretty much the remainder of Ultramoon. Like, I'm in post-game stuff.
Yay!
Mostly because, you know, I was playing around with the gift Pokemon, so that kind of got me to doing it.
Yeah.
And Halo.
That is more than I've done, because guess what all I've been doing at least the last few days or so?
What?
Trying to figure out how to hack Radiant Dawn with like zero knowledge of how to hack video games in general.
Has that been going any better?
I'm on the cusp of it working. I just need to figure out how to make my modifications to the files stick. And I think I just need to do an extra step and actually follow the entire YouTube video that I have bookmarked for this. So once I do that, it will be fine. But instead of doubling the experience, which still no one's gotten back to me on that forum thread about that, I'll be more or less making everyone's stat thresholds be maximum. Be the highest value I can make it. And then, more or less, I'm going to give them stupid amounts of so everyone's going to get like 3 stats up every single level. So eventually, Nakai will probably be able to solo a map on her own. More or less, this run will be incredibly stupid, is the short and long of it. Incredibly stupid. I also found out I didn't need one program I have to extract files, at least, because you can actually extract files through Dolphin.
I feel like I knew about that, but I don't remember right offhand.
Yeah, you can do that for any game. You just go in and the breakdown of the files and stuff. You still need a program to replace the files, but you don't need a program to extract them. So I've been doing that, trying to figure out how that works. I should get it running in the next week or so. So once I have it up and running, I should be good to do Radiant Dawn at some point. Only problem is it takes a little longer to test what I get off level up instead of just off like doubling experience.
True. Because you got to get all the way up to the point of an actual level up, whereas the experience, it's basically go smack and kill someone, and then you know.
Yeah, which is honestly not that long as I, because I can very much get a consistent level up on Micaiah in 5 turns. 4 to 5 turns, depending on like as long as I don't fuck up movement. I know how to level up fast, so I will know exactly when she. Like, if I can get Micaiah's to work, and it sticks on her, I can do everyone because the modules cover everybody. So as soon as I have that, it should be fine. But more or less, that's been it. I haven't got back to Persona 5 at all. I haven't really played much of else. Yeah. I've mostly been binge watching all of Ultraman G'd in like a week.
I also want to mention, I said I was playing a lot of Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am almost sold on doing Halo 3 with the flat skull. I know I said I wasn't going to do skulls that make the multiplier 0, but I might. Just to show off how broke it is, and I've noticed there's a couple of weird things with it too. So, on the arc, when you get dropped the tank, did you know that inside of the carrier actually has collision and you can walk in it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
I was like, I'm gonna try this just to see, and for some reason I thought it flew away, so I was gonna try to trick the game into thinking I wasn't in it and be in it, but it doesn't fly away. Because I was gonna see what would happen if it would just straight up kill me, or if it would somehow break me out of the bounds of the game.
But why?
Yeah. You never can get up there normally. I don't know why that's got collision. That's one of those weird, okay. That and Delta Halo, you know how you got the Warthog escape at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an alternate path to get over there. I was flying and I'm like, wait, why is there a path? Wait a minute. It goes almost all the way to where the cutscene trigger is. And just cuts out a portion of the level. It makes me wonder if you can actually make that in the Warthog or not. But yeah, I've noticed a few things and I'm like, okay then. That, and there's one more that can completely do weird sequence breaking. Essentially what happened is I sequence broke the game the first time to the point where apparently if you don't hit triggers, then buttons don't work. So I had that the first time. Well, I went back and I figured out that trigger, but apparently I missed another trigger that tells the enemy AI to actually start moving and attack you. I literally come into a room with 5 brutes standing there. Just standing, staring at me while I beat them all down, and it's like, okay. Didn't know there was a trigger for that. But yeah, it's weird how much... It's weird how many triggers Bungie put into the game to make it actually tick like it does. I know with CE, I've actually done it even. there's a way to break Assault on the control room to the point where you miss the right trigger and the rest of the level's broke. Because I've actually done that before. So I know that's a thing, and that's weird to see that even by the time that we get to 3, it's still like that. You've got to hit certain triggers or you just completely kill the entire level. Mm-hmm. Also, there's a weird thing, I can't remember the mission name, but it's when you're going around taking down the towers before you confront the last prophet. You get in I can't remember what the helicopters are named.
Neither can I.
But you basically have to get in one of them and fly. Mm-hmm. The bounding box actually doesn't change until you get into it. Because I thought, okay, well, they come into play, I should be able to start just free flying over there. No, I had to get in it, get back out, and then I could free fly. So it's one of those, I feel like doing that just to kind of show off how weirdly broken these levels actually are, and we just never see it. That, and I've got half a mind of turning Scarab on for the remainder of 2. Something about changing every weapon to basically be one shot, but is really dangerous if you're in close quarters. Kind of sounds fun. Because, yeah, if you're too close to the Scarab gun or you miss and clip the corner of a wall, you're dead. Just insta-kill. I might turn it on for the first mission of 2. Because I have done that, so I kind of have found some of these weird things out. But yeah, we'll see come Wednesday what I decide to do.
Well, anything else before we move into news?
No.
Alright, so Xbox had their Xbox Game Showcase for July with a meh kind of showing?
With a Halo Fable tease, and that's about it.
It feels weird because I feel like a lot of this is just kind of reminders of things they've already shown in either another showcase, like that other showcase they did, or last year.
Except for really Halo.
Well, there was a couple new things. The Stalker one's new. And Warhammer 40k is new. And Gunk's new. And that new thing with Phantasy Star Online 2 is confusing as new, but otherwise, like a majority of this stuff is just kind of like repeats.
Yeah.
So, just going down the list we have here. Halo Infinite got its first gameplay look. It's a Halo, except maybe open world. Maybe. Also, it might be a live service game from comments from the directors.
Yeah.
From the, like, after it came out and conversations with people.
And might, meaning pretty much sounds like it is. Because don't they have like a stupid 10-year plan or something with it?
Yes, I was about to say, it sounds like the exact same quote someone from Bungie had about Destiny to start with a 10-year plan. And so fucking help me if another fucking studio says, we have a 10-year plan, I'm gonna say, shut the fuck up, stop it, no, stop, no, you don't. You do not have a 10-year plan. You have a 10-year assumption that everything's gonna be fine. That plan's gonna go boom in like a year, at minimum.
Is it bad, though, that I almost feel like Halo has something that Destiny didn't have?
An actual competently put together single player?
That and a fact of if 343 tries to basically release Destiny but Halo skinned, it would go far better because of the simple fact of when you go into Halo, you're expecting this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those, that was my thing when Destiny first came out. I was in the mindset of, okay, yeah, Destiny's an alright game. It's got problems, but it's alright. The problem is it feels too much like Halo. It didn't feel like its own thing. So now I'm curious as to how, if Infinite follows the same path, how that's gonna shape up. Because now at this point, am I going to be like, oh, well, this has got open world MMO mentality and it's not really anything different? Or is this actually going to kind of be its stepping stone in that direction?
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those. I'm at the soft pass for one very important reason. The gameplay looks good. I'll give them that. The fact that it looks like it's open world, sure, that's another good check mark for me there too. Because that means all kinds of stupid stuff that you can try to break the game with.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that's kind of stopped me, as I've said before, is what are we doing with the Cortana story? Have we completely walked away from it, or are we really going to shoehorn this in at the end just because?
Well, considering this is 2 years after Halo 5, and we're dealing with not Aatrox.
How many years after the end of Wars 2, though?
I don't know. It's 2061. Or it's 2561. What's the end of Halo Wars 2?
Wait, this is 61?
That's what it says.
I think, ain't that 3 years past 5?
It's probably closer to 3 years, probably. I don't know.
And I'm thinking the synopsis I saw for Wars 2 was kind of put around like 59 kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be 3 years after.
So
5. Okay.
2 to 3 past the closest ones we've got. Maybe we could bypass that, but I don't know. The simple fact that both Halo Wars 2 and Halo 5 ended with a similar concept is one of those I'm like, uh-oh. We're blurring the lines here. What are we gonna mess up?
Oh, 2560, my bad. 60, not 61.
Okay, so then, yeah, that still is kind of right there with what I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's enough of a time skip that I could understand the quote-unquote main villain. Because until we know more, I'm not fully willing to say our big main brute is.
He's actually named.
Yeah, I know. I just don't care.
It's not Aatrox, so that's all that matters. That's it.
I just go, I don't care. Yeah, my problem is I've got this bad feeling that if we're trying to basically if we're basically trying to do a parody of CE, someone's going to have to take the form of the Flood.
Yep.
Someone was missing in that campaign trailer that we got.
Yep.
I have a bad feeling about that.
Yeah.
Now, there was that clip within the ending cutscene that we saw that had the broken spot in the Halo installation. It looked to me like that matched up with what Chief did to 4, but at least repaired a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, then like I told Glock in the chat, that technically means the flood could still exist here.
Yeah.
Which could give them the out to not even try to include Cortana in it. But I don't foresee that. I feel like they intended to go the route they did with 5 so hard and never backed away from it that that's going to be what's going to happen. We're just going to see her coming in mid to late story, being another part in this war.
Yep.
And I don't know how to feel on that. I really don't, because I'm like, if they do it right, maybe they could kind of rewrite what 5 did, but at the same time, I don't think they can.
Not really, I don't think.
Also, when I was monkeying with the skull stuff, I found something that makes me a little bit sad.
What?
They've not said one way or the other, but there is actually data suggesting that Halo 5 could be added to the Master Chief Collection also.
Ooh.
No, not ooh. More like ew.
Yeah.
It's like, don't break the game like that, please.
Well, actually, an additional note, because I heard Giant Bomb, I think it was Giant Bomb, bring this up when I watched back their stream of this. I just skipped to like the aftermath of it, or like the end of it, where they were just talking about stuff. They brought up a good point. There's not a whole lot here that has a specific date, or is dated at all, which is concerning.
Except though, you said there was that at the beginning?
I meant the games in general.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Halo Infinite demo is dated in the timeline of Halo, but its release date is still unknown, along with a lot of games from this showcase. And there are also several games that are 2021, which again begs the question: when the fuck are either of these boxes coming out, and what the fuck are you going to be able to play at them at launch?
My bigger question isn't so much of what are you going to be able to play on the Series X at launch, because I mean they've pretty much said the Series X is just an upgraded Xbox One.
Yeah.
It's the Pro now. Mm-hmm. I feel like when it comes to Microsoft, they definitely will hold Infinite out. Even if the console gets delayed, it'll be delayed with it, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I almost don't feel like we're going to have this holiday season be both of them. And that might also be why Nintendo's trying to play the cards close to the chest, too. It might be a case of they're worried if they go ahead and push forward with holiday season for some of their stuff that may actually be close to it, then they're going to get
demolished in sales.
Yeah. But at the same time, they really don't want to push stuff back to the beginning of next year, because with all this going on, it might also push both the Series X and the PS5 back.
Yeah.
So it might, in all seriousness, Nintendo might be stuck in this weird spot where they can't really do anything.
I mean, I know people have questioned Nintendo after like the mini direct that we'll talk about later of like, what is the holiday lineup? And I just have to point out, Sony and Microsoft are doing the exact same thing. We have no idea what the fuck either of them are going to do this holiday season with regards to their big releases and their big bucks. Everyone's in the same boat.
I honestly think that's what the problem with Nintendo is because they're afraid that if they say, okay, well, we've got this, but it's not going to come out till the beginning of next year, then what happens when the Series X and the PS5 get delayed to the beginning of next year?
Yeah.
Then they're still fighting a losing battle because they're going to have their ace in the hole that they thought was in a safe spot sitting right there against these two giants.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I'm like, I want Nintendo to tell me something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see that part of it, and I'm like, yeah, yep, completely can understand why you're not doing it right now. I feel like, in all seriousness, the Series X and PS5 were kind of in that same boat, but not as bad.
Yeah.
Because with Sony, they're probably not wanting to say they're delaying, because then that's going to basically be them handing holiday season to Microsoft, and vice versa. I think they're going to be trying to hold as much information as they can back until they have no choice but to say, oh, well, the console's coming next year. I don't know. We are in that weird spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, what's bad is Microsoft's got an out. Infinite's coming out on PC. Most of their games, they even said there's not going to be any Series X exclusives for the first year. So nothing that they have would really be hurt too bad if it goes ahead and comes out on the One. I don't understand why they're holding back as hard as they are.
The game of chicken they play with Sony, more or less.
I mean, but okay, case in point, look at any one of these games that are in Microsoft's. They're all pretty much dual releases at the minimum. And it's like, come on, at least throw a bone.
Yeah. But anything else on Halo before we kind of spit fire through the rest of the stuff? Because I'll be honest, some of the stuff isn't the most interesting to talk about.
Nah, not really.
Alright. State of Decay 3 got confirmed to be coming out on Series X and PC. Had a CG trailer. Hopefully it's better than 2, because 2 did not do well.
I mean,
it was not good.
It's got to be better. It's got a rotten Bambi eating dead things.
Yep. Rare did another CG trailer of their new game, Everwild. It looks cool. I like the Last Airbender aesthetic they're using for the animals. All the animals are mixtures of two animals. Or at least mixtures of things. Like the deer, it has like tree antlers. I forget the other things, but they all look pretty cool. I just don't know what the fuck this game is. Because all we've gotten is CG trailer and CG trailer. And this was something that was shown off last year, so... Forza Motorsport of some kind is coming to Series X. They showed a CG trailer? They showed a trailer of Forza Motorsport, which is probably the least interesting aspect of Forza, to be honest. I think Horizon is a more interesting game.
I think it's kind of went over better, actually.
Yeah. People want arcade racing games. How hard is that?
Also, did Discord just break? Discord just broke. Discord, why?
As I was saying, I think more people want arcade racing games than they do sim racing games. To be honest.
Maybe, I don't know.
Like, you can have some realistic driving and mechanics and stuff, but like no one wants the super hard. Like, more people want arcade than they do sim, I feel like, on the most part. That's people's preference, or most people's preference, so
probably, but I know you do still have those few that are like, yeah, I kind of want realistic.
Yeah.
And I can get that because, truthfully, I kind of... It's kind of like getting into phases with different genres of games. There's sometimes where I just want to play a certain kind of game.
Yeah.
And it's one of those, I might can understand that people that are into racing games, they just might have that every so often. I want to play something realistic.
Yeah.
Maybe there needs to be some kind of merge with it.
Horizon has that, but it definitely tends more arcade than it does sim.
Well,
I think if you could do some of the fun stuff that Horizon...
I feel like in this day and age, you could probably set up both in it.
Yeah.
Have it be like something in the settings to change maybe the driving style even. Because a lot of Forza games actually kind of have that open world mentality to it. So it's just kind of let that roll. People want to do all the fun one-offs, let them do that. If not, let them just drive around. Yeah,
I think it might help Forza Motorsport is that if it does some of the fun racing stuff that Horizon does. Like, not as over the top, but doing more fun races and interesting stuff than just, hey, here's just a butt ton of cards, go race them. Like, get creative. Anywho, make sure I'm not skipping anything. No. Okay. Ori and the Will of the Wisp is getting upgraded for Series X. It'll have the smart upgrade stuff applied, so yay! Better frame rate!
Yes, because we've got to push for that 120 FPS. 60 is just too slow.
Yeah. Tell me why, which... It doesn't help that I've been watching videos where people do this Brooklyn Nine-Nine bit involving a Backstreet Boys song, but just insert different characters in it. So when I hear this, I'm hearing the one Backstreet Boys song, which should extremely tell you my age. But yeah, coming from Don't Nod, it's more or less a visual novel game in 3D form. If this looks interesting to you, like, it's there. That's kind of it. Also, this was shown off last year. Bethesda... Really? Did they skip over a couple of Bethesda things? Or not Bethesda. No, wrong company. Obsidian! Obsidian showed off new DLC for Outer Worlds. And they also showed off the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids game, which I didn't realize that was them. And they also announced, hey, we're gonna do a Skyrim game. It's called Avowed. We're gonna go take another shit on Bethesda while we're at it, because fuck you.
I mean, might as well.
Mm-hmm. Also, apparently where this game is set is in Pillars of Eternity from Obsidian. Yeah, Avowed was a CG trailer. The survival game's been like known for a while, and Outer Worlds DLC is cool, so Oh, there it is. Grounded is what the name of it. I couldn't think of the name. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, except it's a survival game, so cool. Hellblade 2 had nothing shown off, but you can go watch the team go to Iceland for research. Yay! There's the Outer Worlds DLC. I don't know why this is out of order on that front.
Reasons.
Yep. As Dusk Falls is coming from an indie studio. I want to call this like a motion comic because that's how it's animated and styled. Because the style, the art style is very comic book, but how they have it animated is very motion comic, and how they animate motion comics. But it's another narrative game, so if you're into the story of what this game is, cool. I lost my spot. There we go. Trying to open all these up so I can stop having to go back and forth. I am one of those people who doesn't have like 5 million tabs open normally. Because I'm not insane.
I mean, I only open every article before we start.
But what about normally for tabs? Do you normally have 30 tabs open?
Not 30, but close sometimes.
I was about to say, I saw someone else, Frozen Stratos from Sotopop. He tweeted an image of something, and you could see his tabs for his. I don't know if it was Firefox or Chrome or whatever. He had like 30 tabs open. I was like, "Sir, please close all those tabs." No.
I mean, I've only got 18 right now.
That's less than he had.
And I don't even have all of the articles that this main one links open. Because I usually don't. Unless we are going to spend time talking about something, I usually just leave it on this.
Anyway, Psychonauts 2 showed that Jack Black is doing a song for one of the levels in the game. Still no release date for it. Tetris Effect is getting multiplayer in a free update called Connected. Stalker is getting a sequel. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of called that this was gonna be like, oh, it's that one game that's like Metro but isn't, and that's Stalker. The Medium showed that it will have dual screen gameplay where you're in 2 realities at once, I assume. Warhammer 40k Darktide, more or less. If you liked Vermintide, here's the sci-fi version of it, I assume. More or less. Do you want your Left 4 Dead itch scratched? This is the game to look for. Because it's incredibly that. 4-player zombie server. Yeah, more or less. That's what Warhammer 40k Vermintide was, hey, do you want a Left 4 Dead style game? Here's a Left 4 Dead style game. With some RPG stuff in it. Hang on. Discord was covering the chat for a second. I didn't see you. Destiny 2. I think everything up to not Beyond Light. Not Forsaken, the one past that. Up to this current expansion is going to be on Game Pass. So
because I see what they're doing. They're Bungie's trying to make any kind of money off of it.
Yeah.
Because I believe ain't that the same point when Destiny 2 is supposed to go completely free to play?
I don't know. I don't know if it's going completely free to play or not.
Well, I mean, outside of the newest expansion, I think.
Yeah. And they showed a trailer with Beyond Light, which, hey, I like platform bullshit powers. I like that. The Gunk coming from the Steam World Dig developers. It looked cool. I found it funny that I almost called the name of this game. I called it the Goop. Instead, it's the Gunk. Also, I was hoping she would punch it with her power glove. No, she sucks it up with her power glove. Phantasy Star Online 2 is getting a revamped version of it that will exist online. The current Phantasy Star Online 2 called New Genesis. It's weird, there'll be two versions of the same game existing at the same time for players, but okay.
I mean, that's kind of nice, though, for the people that are already in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because then they don't have to just go out and buy the new version. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Crossfire X showed off its Call of Duty ass Call of Duty single player. Oh, yeah, getting mentioned and grounded and then not showing up at all. Look, Cyberpunk is busy doing its own series of streams. It's got no time to be in Microsoft's showcase. But yeah, this looked like a Call of Duty campaign, and I could care less at this point. And lastly, Fable got a CG teaser! Woo! So yeah, it was a very meh show.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's probably just me, but I kind of feel like Halo and Fable kind of was it.
Yeah. Again, it's a lot of repeats from their last showcase and last year, with some new stuff, but not anything like super spectacular. It just seems like one of those, yes, the pandemic has hit us too. We don't know if we're launching this year. Oops. But you know what is happening this year?
We actually know something that's happening this year?
Rocket League is going free to play.
Right.
Only through Epic Games, though. Or the Epic Game Store.
But if you already have it through Steam, then it's still going to be supported.
Yeah.
You just can no longer get it through Steam.
Well, do you get anything if you bought the game now?
Yes. Yeah. As long as you get it before it goes free to play, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's listed here. All Rocket League branded DLC released before the free-to-play update. In-game title displays the year when they first started playing Rocket League. 200 common items that are upgraded to legacy quality. Gold Cosmos Boost. Faded Cosmos Boost, but only for players who played before today's announcement. Deki Oro wheels, and then Huntress player banner. So, yay, you're gonna get a whole bunch of shit dropped on you when this happens. Do we have a date for this?
Actually, I don't think we did. Yeah, we never did. It's just set for this summer.
Which isn't the summer almost over?
I believe it's getting close to it. I think we still got like all of next month.
Yay.
But I think I did see something saying that it'll at the minimum be after the season ends. But it possibly could be later because, you know, all of the fun pandemic stuff has kind of screwed everything up.
Yeah.
Thanks world.
Yeah. But we have a second show to talk about. That was 8 minutes and change long.
Yeah, that's why earlier I said about us having 2 shows in about 8 minutes.
Nintendo released the mini direct this past week to everyone's disappointment because everyone hyped it up and then nothing really happened.
I mean, yeah.
So, Cadence, just to hit it, Cadence Hyrule's getting a season pass worth of DLC, a character pack, a song pack, and then a story DLC with a playable Skull Kid. Character pack is available now, and the rest will be coming before October, or before the end of October. Rogue Company is coming to Switch with a new character. WWE 2K Battlegrounds is coming to Switch September 18th. And the big takeaways, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is coming to the Switch in America spring 2021. And after that comes out that year, Shin Megami Tensei 5 is going to come out. And they showed a little bit of SMT 5. Those look pretty good. It's about the only thing I cared about, really.
And yes, everything that can be said in Nintendo Showcase is right there.
Yep.
I mean, we kind of... Yeah, we've kind of had, you know, pandemic affect the working part of the year.
Yeah.
Because we literally should be in the look at what we've done. This is coming out this year point, and yeah, when they can't do anything that this has happened.
To be fair, you can apply that to a lot of things at this point, where it's just like, well, this year's been more or less a wash, which is what I keep saying.
Yep.
It's what happens when the entire world gets shut down. The entire world.
I almost feel like, though, that all 3 of them do have something in the bag, but it's a case of the things going around said thing can't happen, and in terms we're just not getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, case in point, I'm sure Nintendo has a good bit of stuff planned that probably could already be released. The problem is, like I said earlier, they're having to play Russian roulette to see who pulls the trigger first between Microsoft and Sony so that they know when to announce their stuff.
Yeah, because they don't want to announce it the week of those consoles and games getting released, because that will dumpster their sales.
It's one of those big game of chicken, and no one's willing to take the first move.
Nope.
But at the same time, I also feel like the internet has made that problem. Because, you know, if they could just tell us, hey, look, this year's kind of been screwed. We're not going to be able to do this, and the internet be like, oh, okay. Then that would be one thing. But no. God help whoever is on Microsoft or Sony's PR team when they have to finally break down and make the announcement that the consoles are going to have to be delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh my god.
But you know what will come out this year?
Oh, that thing.
The Avengers game!
That thing.
We have beta information. There will be an order beta or pre-order beta on PlayStation August 7th, and Xbox PC pre-order beta and the PlayStation open beta August 14th, and there's the straight open beta the 21st.
Oh, a straight up open beta?
Yes.
Huh.
For a game that comes out 2 weeks later.
So, what I'm hearing is this isn't beta testing as much as this is server testing.
Yep.
Also, crap. That's a TGS weekend.
No!
I was so gonna say, wait, I think. Yeah, it is. Crap.
Sure they do. They're now called betas.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
And if the
demo now means beta.
And if the demo comes out early enough, it might also be called alpha.
Or, even better, early access.
Yep, there's the other one.
Also, there's another Avengers stream the 29th for more info. So, yay! Moving on. Ubisoft!
Thoughts?
What?
I have no idea where we'll be at in Phantom Hourglass at that point, but regardless, take that week off just to see what kind of a dumpster fire this is. I'm
on board.
Okay.
I'm on board with that. I'm up for that. Let's go.
I am more than willing to do that.
So, Ubisoft also had their own stream, their Ubisoft Forward stream, this past week. With not a whole lot either. What?
Just everyone and nothing. It's like,
oh god, we'll get there. Let me hit the rest of the stuff first, since that was the last thing. So first off, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is getting a new live update. Cool. Watch Dogs Legion got a bit of gameplay shown off for it. And apparently you can have 40 people at a time. We still don't know how deep this goes for everything they keep talking about. We still don't know where the edge is. But otherwise, it still looks good. Brawlhalla Mobile is coming out soon. Or Brawlhalla is coming to mobile soon.
So you can finally have not Smash on your phone.
More or less. Might and Magic Heroes Era of Chaos is coming out. Apparently this article decides from Ubisoft decides to have no info on that one. Thanks.
Yep. Awesome.
Also, I love how the Watch Dogs one has fucking Assassin's Creed video for it.
You love that too, don't you?
God damn it, Ubisoft.
They can't even get their crap straight.
Tom Clancy's Elite Squad had another trailer. I still don't know what this game is. Like, I know it's apparently a big crossover of all of Ubisoft's stuff, but what's the gameplay like?
It says it's a tactical RPG.
Yeah. But I don't think they've given us a look at the gameplay at all.
Okay, sure. I have to say that I possibly can at least 85% agree with that statement there, Glock.
Yeah.
It'll have some kind of paywall. And that will be what will be the part that'll be the problem. And I say that clearly because It says right there, free to play.
Yep.
Translated, paywall exists.
It's a gotcha game. Rainbow Six Siege had nothing to announce besides, hey, we exist. Thanks for 5 years of supporting this game. Bye. Hyperscape, Battle Royale game coming from Ubisoft with a internet twist. Or a sci-fi internet world twist. Eh.
I mean, it might be something to try.
It looked alright, but I don't know.
It sounds like it would be alright, but the problem with Ubisoft is sometimes when it sounds like it'll be alright, it's a mixed bag.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Valhalla got gameplay finally for the first time, and it certainly looks like an Assassin's Creed game from the last couple of years.
I have a problem now.
What?
They've got the video posted twice in the same article, and the other time's in the wrong spot. Oops.
Oh, by the way, Glock, it's Fortnite, N-I-T-E, Night, N-I-G-H-T. Just for reference.
And cue the he doesn't really care. Whatever, close enough.
There.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks like an Assassin's Creed game. I'm not sure what else to say about this, to be honest.
I mean, Assassin's Creed's kind of just been in some of the more recent ones.
And finally, Far Cry 6 had a CG trailer announcing its existence, and it will come out February next year. Cool. Once more, we promote the bad guy more than we promote the person that you play as, because Far Cry does not understand how story works.
Oh, that's actually interesting. Hold on, come back here.
Oh no. What?
That was a squirrel moment. The tweet from GameSpot just now. Plans for Halo Infinite beta test are scaled back.
Ew.
Second, because
okay.
Unfortunately I am using my default browser, so...
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I was expecting something more than that, to be honest. That's not the biggest deal in the world. So yeah, Ubisoft had a whole lot of meh. But they will have another one in the future with... Okay. Alright, here's the thing. Are Latinos and Latinas actually offended by this? That is my entire question. Oh, okay. Okay, then.
So, remember how I was saying that the reason the descriptors for the weapons in the Halo Infinite gameplay trailer might not have all been there because it might have been an early build or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much this article confirms that. They're having to cut back the beta testing plans because they're not where they thought they would be.
Of course they're not
meaning we did see a dev build.
Oh my god.
So I'm probably right. That probably wasn't fully implemented. They were probably implementing it for the new weapons, which is why everything was there, but they hadn't went back and implemented it for the previous weapons that were coming in.
By the way, hello guys.
Hi.
By the way, hello.
I just wanted to hop in to let y'all know that I actually found a bit more information on the Halo Infinite thing. A lot of people were complaining about the graphics not being that impressive.
Yeah.
But basically what occurred from what I've read and what I've heard from others that have gotten information from confidential sources is Infinite was originally built on the Unreal Engine. And
Which Unreal?
4.
Oh, okay.
It was originally built on the Unreal Engine 4, and it was originally built to be an Xbox One game, kind of their swan song. And
so
then
Microsoft came to them with the Series X and said, make it look better for it. And that's where we're at now.
So they had to scrap it because originally, with it being on the Unreal Engine 4, it was supposed to be a massive open world game to the point that you could travel across the entire ring.
That seems unnecessary, but okay.
And then they scaled it back to like 3 islands. And they said, that's a no-go. So they swapped over from Unreal Engine 4 to another engine called Slipspace, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Probably
sounds like a
an
custom in-house, yeah.
Yeah.
They basically had to rebuild the fucking game. Also, gonna remind you, the demo that we saw was meant for E3. So that demo is months and months old. And also, one last thing.
Okay, it is an in-house engine, by the way.
Okay. And one last thing. The demo was played on a PC. They call it the Condor, and apparently it is a mid-range PC for bug testing and for bug finding and tool testing. So they didn't even play the demo on a Series X. So that's not at all that is not at all a representation of the Series X.
So what?
So this apparently was worked on past 5. Like, it's saying around the release of 5, the engine was secretly worked on. So that tells me we're dealing with a more than likely unfinished engine trying to do this as well.
Probably. I would be willing to bet. Yeah.
Oh god, this doesn't sound like a disaster.
Plus 343 on their website even has a spot where you can view jobs to help them build this, and it's like, oh.
Well, you gotta think, don't bigger companies have to pay to use the Unreal Engine, or at least give royalties to
yes.
Anyone that's not Epic has to pay Epic money to use Unreal.
Right, so I imagine it probably was starting to cost them a pretty penny to keep working on it, so they were probably like, yo, we've got this engine just sitting here, we haven't done shit with it. Well, it's not complete. I don't care. Put it on.
Except, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't a real need for them to have to build a new engine, because they should have, when they acquired the Halo franchise from Bungie, I believe should have also acquired the customizations they were doing on their engine then.
I mean, unless Bungie said, no, fuck you, we're keeping that.
I mean,
or no, pay us.
Even if they did, for some reason, like, I don't know what it is about companies like 343 that are struggling to try to understand what they need to do with a franchise that already has a solid base. Like, it's almost like a bunch of teenagers finally getting to live out their fan fiction dreams after getting the first couple seasons of a huge TV show. So they get to take over and just, oh, well, I imagined this was going to happen, so this happens in it now, and it's just absurd.
To be fair...
Oh my god, I'm actually right.
Oh no.
Okay, they did actually have the engine that was built from the ground up specifically for Halo. They used it all the way through 4.
God damn it.
So that what means... did they use for 5?
I don't know. I'm fixing to look that up. But literally, Halo 4's engine is a heavily modified Reach engine, which was modified from 3, 2, and CE. It's like, oh my gosh.
See, because I think about it and I'm like, 5, okay, story, yes, there were some problems. But gameplay-wise, it wasn't a bad game. And that's where the engine comes into play, is the gameplay. The story is just, writing.
I'm seeing conflicting reports, or conflicting information. It's either a modification of the engine you're just talking about, or it was a new one. Although another article is saying it's a new one? 5 might just be a new one, or a modification of an existing one.
I don't know.
The problem is, if 5 worked, and as it stands right now, I agree with people, yes, 5 looks better. But then again, we don't have a release date for Halo Infinite, right? I'm right on that,
no,
right?
We do not.
We don't even have a scheduled release, right? Or a scheduled release area.
No, because we don't have one for the Series X, and it's supposed to come with the Series X at launch.
Oh, so it's supposed to be a launch title. Okay, so they might have some kind of...
Nope. By the way, Halo 5 does use a different engine. Okay. Because they claim that 4 pushed it to its limit.
Oh, goody.
I think I remember they used whatever engine Havoc's using right now.
I'll just Havoc in general, because that's just the name of the engine, I think.
That is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So
I think it's technically Havoc's physics engine.
So why did they change to Unreal then?
I'm trying.
That's even a bigger question then.
Also, shouldn't Unreal Engine 4 work on Series X to start with?
Yes.
So why go to an internal engine?
There are multiple games that are coming to Series X that are being worked on the Unreal Engine on Unreal Engine 5.
I feel like what might have actually happened is something might not have went right with the Havoc engine, causing them to have to switch to Unreal, because after you mentioned that, the gameplay actually does look like the same kind of polish that I've seen when people have done like Super Mario 64 in it, and the Link to the Past, or the Legend of Zelda, I believe it was Ocarina.
Yeah, probably
gameplay
Ocarina
in it. It kind of has that same vibe. I wonder if they started development on it in Unreal, got close enough to claim their new engine was finished and tried to make that switch, and it just didn't work. Like, maybe they didn't figure that it would be ready in time, and then when it was like, oh, well, time to start again.
This seems like one of those, oh no, everything has exploded, and I'm sure a pandemic is not helping.
Not at all, in light of what I just saw there about, the fact they're having to cut back on the beta testing.
Oh, speaking of Ocarina real quick, have you seen the Banjo-Kazooie mod that I think Spike and Author Blues have been streaming recently?
No.
Banjo-Kazooie, except you're now playing Ocarina of Time.
I knew there was a Wind Waker mod for Banjo-Kazooie. I did not know there was an OOT one, though.
There is now an Ocarina of Time one that is apparently really good.
Huh.
Like, music and everything is even converted to the style of Banjo-Kazooie.
Huh.
It is ridiculous from what I've seen. Incredibly ridiculous.
It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so Halo Infinite is sounding worse by the information. No wonder they were being vague to reporters in a Discord call.
I mean, right now they probably don't even know what they can and can't tell people.
Yeah, because just for reference, Easy Allies, the former Game Trailers people that went and formed their own YouTube for like the last couple of years or so, one of them was in a Discord call with several other reporters talking to 343 about Halo Infinite, and he just came away going, I can't tell you a whole lot because they didn't tell me a whole lot. So, and I think it's the same, and I would assume it's the same Discord call that a lot of the articles being written now are coming from, is from that call. So if it seems like we are still very slim on details for this game, that is why, because 343 didn't say really anything in that call.
And like I said, I have to think that they don't know what to say. Because you look, in a normal setting, they would have constant interaction with their PR people that already know what can and can't be said.
Okay, so I'm reading something from Eurogamer that reported on more about why Halo Infinite looked the way it did, and they're saying that 343 said that the main criticism leveled at the game seemed to be that it looked flat in current gen, and 343 Industry said that a lot of it boils down to the lighting, apparently.
How they don't have...
Engine... Huh?
I was about to say, they don't have the lighting stuff down yet.
Yeah, he said they said the engine transitions not only from a linear experience to an open world, but also shifts to a fully dynamic lighting system. And it's a massive departure from Halo 5, which was mostly based on pre-calculated baked lighting and shadows, backed by a handful of shadow casting lights.
But was it crispy baked?
Was it? My question is: was it as baked as the those Halo Reach lights that we saw? Those were some burnt.
Hey, now that was a wine stipulation there.
I know, but it was beautiful.
It was funny.
There were so many textures that were just solid black.
I actually had to quit continuing through Reach on wine because, yeah, audio broke. thanks to the Halo 3 update. And it's like, oh my god.
But it says I'm trying to skim through it, but there's a lot of decent detail here. They say the advantage of transitioning to a dynamic lighting system is an increase in realism and more flexibility. An accurate time of day lighting setup can be incorporated. For example,
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah. Static lighting saves a lot on performance, and indirect light bounce can also be simulated relatively cheaply, but the vast bulk of the effect is achieved via offline pre-calculation or baking. The end result can be spectacular, but there are many downsides, like dynamic objects being lit entirely differently to static ones, leading to visual discontinuity. It's also very time-consuming to pre-calculate, and even the smallest changes add hugely to iteration times. Either way, dynamic lighting and shadowing, as seen in Halo Infinite, is more expensive, but has the advantage of processing dynamic and static screen objects in the same fashion, so nothing sticks out. Everything is treated equally, and the scale and scope in options in-game is vastly more flexible. So basically, it sounds like they're blaming everything on the lighting. Every single bit of it.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say this. I kind of, when I saw some articles saying about how people were comparing it to CE's graphics, and I just had to shake my head and be like, you are an idiot.
They keep talking about, oh, it's the lights. Guys, it's the lights. That's the reason why. It's the lights. And I'm just like, if it was the lights, why didn't you stick with Unreal Engine? Unreal Engine 5 just had a damn demo showing off its lumen system.
My thing is, personally, I feel like everyone's being stupid. It's a game. If you want a live action movie that you can choose people's fates, go make it. It's a game. It doesn't have to look realistic. What about Halo is realistic? I mean, let's be honest. It's one of those, I feel like everyone is just spoiled on that part of it. I think good. Halo 4 looks good. If I had to compare Infinite, especially knowing that that's an early dev build, I'm fine with that, because they've got time to tweak it. If it released looking like that, I would probably still be fine with it, because it would kind of throw back to CE.
Especially if it doesn't come out till next year at this rate.
Yeah, true.
My big thing with it is just that, you know, people are giving it so much shit, and I'm like, I mean, it wasn't terrible. It felt a bit. I'll be honest. Other Halo demos for E3 and all that have been a whole lot more coordinated. This demo felt like it was just a dude sitting at a computer, going, "Okay, I've got to show off everything. Let me shoot every gun that I can find. Oh yeah, I've got to get to the spot so that we can cue the cutscene and cut the thing." That's what this felt like. It felt so rushed, it was ridiculous.
If I'm going to give Halo Infinite crap, I'm going to give it crap for anything that's not in the demo at the moment.
And quite frankly, I'm going to make this comment here too. And Peace, I think you might can agree with me on this. Truthfully, Breath of the Wild could have had a little bit better graphics, but you expect graphics to suffer if it's an open world setting.
Yeah. Because you gotta render in a lot of shit.
Yeah. And there's got to be ways of cutting corners.
Yeah. You can't do as much culling as you can with other stuff, unfortunately.
If they turn Infinite into a linear, you go from A to B and you're done, then yeah, it needs more polish.
Yeah.
If they leave it in an open world setting, I vote for ship it like it was. It looked good enough for an open world setting. I mean, it's one of those, Microsoft being the ones in control is putting that undue strain on them because they want their flagship title to look completely perfect, and it's like, okay, if you want open world, that can't happen. If you want linear path, that can happen. It's like you wouldn't be expecting to read every person's name tag in Halo Wars because there's so many assets there.
Yeah.
You're not going to expect the finer details in something like that, and it's the same kind of concept here, and it's like, why are people not seeing that?
I'll be honest. This marketing technique of Microsoft's, I don't think it's really paying off. It feels very much like they did so much. They paid so much just to be like, strongest console. We have the strongest console. Our console is better. Yes.
And all the studios they've bought.
Yes. But if you don't come out with games for said strong console that show off the true power of the console, what good is the console? That's like if I built my PC to play indie games on Indiegogo. Mind you, I paid $1,400 to build my PC. I'm just gonna go play pixel art indie games. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, you're exactly right, and that's what I'm kind of sitting at with it too. It's like, I feel like that's their problem. They're getting so much unneeded pressure from Microsoft to be like, you have our flagship title, you must make it look good. Except they're wanting to do something that honestly would probably change up Halo for the better. I mean, if we had something akin to Destiny that they could just pump out expansions whenever they wanted to tell more of the story, I think would probably work better for it now.
Yeah.
The problem is Microsoft wants it to look so good, and you can't do open world and good at the same time. We don't have the specs to do that.
We ain't got the time for that shit.
Well, hang on. It is possible. It's just rare that it works. Because, like, hang on.
But at the same time, I also have the problem with all the people on the internet being like, oh, it looks like CE. No, it doesn't. Go boot up
like
original C on the PC and tell me that looks the same. If you told me that looked more like Halo 3, maybe. I might could give you that one.
Do they mean CE as in CECE or CE as in CEA?
the way the article I read, they were pretty much comparing it to CE. Blocky CE.
What?
Yeah.
That's not...
And
No!
I was like, are you that stupid?
It's the rose-colored glasses. That's what it is.
Someone boot up CEA and do the toggle. Please do the toggle.
This to me looks like graphically we have rolled back from 5. We might have even rolled back from 4, but I don't feel like if we have, it's been by too much. I feel like this is at least, I would classify it in the same kind of boat that 4 was in. That's not that bad for an open world.
See, the problem is, open world games can really look beautiful. And I've got 2 prime examples of this. And yes, I know, we're talking about Microsoft, and I'm about to bring up PlayStation titles. Shut up. My point still stands.
I done brought up Breath of the Wild.
Days Gone and Death Stranding are 2 points that prove that open world games can look beautiful, but there's gonna be problems in other areas. Death Stranding, the story was... It was a Kojima game.
Yeah. It's a Kojima-ass Kojima game.
Days Gone, it kind of got lost in the hype. That's where I'm gonna stand with that one. It wasn't great, it wasn't terrible. It got lost in the hype. It was your average zombie game, but it just had the ability to have more zombies in a certain area. But there's absolutely proof that games like that can exist. But there's...
okay.
Halo, if you make a Halo game, what is the number one, what is the biggest part of it? It's the campaign. Multiplayer is huge, don't get me wrong, but
if you want to talk about 343 Halo, multiplayer is the important part for them. They outside of 4, they have not nailed anything with story going forward, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, but still, story is the big part of Halo. If you don't have at least a semi-understandable story, it's gonna flop. 5 suffered in that aspect. Now, I personally, I like 5 so far. I actually haven't beaten it.
I wonder why.
Okay, question. How many times have you fought the one boss? The one boss with the sword.
Oh. I don't remember, it's been so long, but I know I fought him more than a few times.
I was about to say, he's practically the only boss in the game, and you fight him like 6 times.
Yeah.
Over the course of the entire game. And nothing changes about the boss fight at all.
So I'm probably pretty far into the end, or pretty close to the end game then. I need to pick it back up so I can finish it. But point is, it didn't have the strongest story, but its story was coherent. We have seen trailers and demos of Infinite, and none of us know what the fuck is going on. I challenge someone to tell me what the fuck is going on in Infinite.
We're fighting not Aatrox for the control of a Halo ring.
Well, we've apparently at some point crash landed on a Halo akin to how CE started out. So that means goal is blow up this Halo. That may or may not be missing a chunk out of it. Because I do want to mention, even though I'm almost positive that's the one we're on, the trailer doesn't tell you. And I think there is like 3 different rings that actually show up in that same cutscene. So he might be looking at a grid of the rings, possibly on the arc, because you might be moving to that at some point.
Okay. If I may, one, I will ask again, because a name does me no good. Who the fuck is this main villain? I don't care about a name. I want to know who he is in relation to Banished.
He's something.
He's a brute that rose to power. Because you know, the Covenant only listened to the supposed head, and the Banished pretty much do the same.
Right, because you're gonna tell me that Atriox died? Because if he died, then maybe. But if Atriox is even slightly alive, if Atriox is even slightly alive, yeah, no other brute is gonna rise to power other than, you know, the ones he already had as like mini warlords.
But this could be another faction.
We don't need another goddamn faction.
I am not joking. Because they tried to push that with 4. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try it again.
I am so tired of the random little factions. I'm with you on the fact that we just need one big villain to be able to be like, this is the bad guy for the next 2 or 3 fucking games.
The problem 343 is having is they want to tell a story over like 6 or 7 games. They need to quit. They're not good at it. They need to quit. It's like, and I see what you're meaning about open world can look good. If you take a step back and look at the big picture for Breath of the Wild, it does look good. But when you get into the finer nitty-gritties with it, you see the gameplay took priority over the it looks pretty. You see what little bit of story is there took place more than the it looks pretty. And I feel like Microsoft's wanting to just say, it must look pretty. We don't care what it does, it must look pretty. And it's like, oh. And I feel like that might be why 343 is trying to deflect it and be like, look, it's the crap that we're working with.
Yeah. Well, anything else before we hit releases? Since we circle back around to Halo?
I have nothing.
Glock, do you have anything else?
I just wanted to rant about the fact that they decided they were going to blame it all on lights. It's the lights, guys. It's look, we got to replace the light bulbs and lamps on the side tables. It just we don't have good enough lighting. We can't do it for the Instagrammers.
I hate saying this, but I also feel like this is not the first time we've heard 343 blaming lighting being problems for graphics.
Because, Locke, I'm going to give you a reason to play a game on your wife's Switch.
Okay.
But we have to get through releases first.
Oh, God.
Go for it.
Alright, so ready to do releases?
1 second. Yes.
Alright. So, it's going to take a little bit, but we'll get through it. Starting off on today, the 26th, we have Destroy All Humans for Xbox One, the remastered version of that. I miss Pandemic Studios.
Is it just on Xbox One, or is it also released on PC?
I think it's already out on PC. We unfortunately don't keep track of PC releases, so it might come out on the same day on PC. because PC would easily double the list we already have, and the one we have is 4 pages long.
And oddly enough, I think there's only like 2 releases that are not the major consoles.
Did you say
no
today?
3? My bad.
Today, the 26th.
It says it's not slated to come out, at least according to Google, until the 28th.
Well, then the thing Tommy pulls releases from for the site is apparently wrong.
I think it's GameSpot.
Probably.
Yeah, everything I'm reading says 28th.
Thanks, GameStop. GameSpot, my bad. Thanks, GameSpot.
And it's coming out for everything. PS4, Xbox One, Google Stadia, and Microsoft.
Okay. Yeah. Bear in mind, sometimes the releases we say are not 100% accurate because shit happens. At least be aware of things that are coming out. Like on the 28th, or no, my bad, the 27th, Space Channel 5 VR, Kinda Funky News Flash of Space 39, and Miku Pack for PlayStation 4. On the 28th, Ageless for Switch, Hubris Arena, Xbox for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Destroy All Humans for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. There's the proper release date. What the fuck?
Yep, I just pulled it up. They still left that in there.
God damn it. Thanks, GameSpot.
Hold it.
Grounded game preview for Xbox One. Head Snatchers for PlayStation 4. Hover for Switch. Interrogation. You Will Be Deceived for Switch. Lost Wings for PlayStation 4. Made of Skier for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Mega Dimension Neptunia 7 for Switch. Other Side for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Pistol Whip for PlayStation 4. Rugby Challenge 4 for Switch. Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Switch. Skater XL for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And The Sims 4 Nifty Knitting for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 29th, we have Lost Wings for Xbox One, Nowhere Profit for Xbox One, They Breathe for Switch. On the 30th, we have Buried Stars for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Cubers Arena for Switch, Hellpoint for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Heroes of Hammer Watch Ultimate Edition for Switch, Hisho O Miru Hito for Switch. I struggle with words.
I'm sorry, but that one, I'm like, I feel like we might have got a Japanese release in there on accident.
I would assume so.
Also, thanks, GameSpot.
Yep. Hotel Souls? SOWLS?
That's a...
What?
I don't type these. I copy and paste. I swear this is what is in there.
I believe you. Words are difficult. Kingdom Run for Switch, Locomotion for Switch, Merchant of the Skies for Xbox One and Switch, Mobile Suit Gundam Extreme versus Maxi Booster On for PlayStation 4, Neo 2, The Tenku's Discipline for PlayStation 4, Nowhere's Profit for I lost my spot. PlayStation 4 and Switch. Sentinels of Freeze for Switch.
Simple shit.
I got distracted from Discord.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's fine.
My bad.
Spiral Memoria, The Summer I Meet Myself for Switch, Streets of Rage 4, Merge Games for PlayStation 4, and Street of Rage 4 for Xbox One and Switch. The Toyus for Xbox One, and Yakuza Kiwami 2 for Xbox One.
Also, that Streets of Rage 4 one, I did leave it that way. I started to combine it, and then I remembered, wait, no, Streets of Rage 4 actually has already been out on the PS4. I guess this is some kind of like account merger.
That, or it's a physical, or no, it wouldn't be a physical release. Because some games have popped up in here that I know are physical releases from that one company that does physical releases for digital titles.
Yeah.
Anywho, on the 31st.
This is the long one.
Yep. Orog for Switch, Bullet Age for Castle Storm 2, Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Cat Quest plus Cat Quest 2, Possum Pack for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Dodo Peak for Switch, Drive-By for Switch, Fairy Tail for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Foot Gold, Tiki Taka for Switch, Garo Mark of the Wolves for PlayStation 4, Geo Rifters for Switch. Good Pizza, Great Pizza for Switch. Hamster Bob for Switch. Heroes of Hammerwatch Ultimate Edition for Xbox One. And Death Unchained for Oculus Quest. Liberated for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Lost Wing for Switch. Not for Switch. Nicole for Switch. Paint Your Pet for Switch. Paper Please for Vita. Retromania Wrestling for Switch. Swim Out for Xbox One. The Executioner for Switch. The Mummy Demastered for PlayStation 4 and Switch. And Tiny Racer for Switch. On the 4th.
Wait, can we acknowledge the only Vita release?
Yes.
Yep.
The Vita still lives sometimes.
Barely.
How? It
crawls.
Old at this point.
We stopped watching the grave, and the corpse gets out, gets a game, and then gets back in before anyone notices.
Yeah. Yeah. We have even had Wii U pop up in these before.
Yes. That is incredibly dead.
Oh. Beautiful.
Anyway,
okay.
On August the 4th, we have Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout for PlayStation 4. Relicata for PlayStation 4 and Stadia. Something like that.
It looks like Relicta.
Relicta? We're gonna go with that, Relicta. I don't know. Nobody gives me we don't have pronunciations for this shit. I just gotta guess. Scully for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch. Steam Tactics for Xbox One and Switch. And on the 6th, Airy Broken Memories for Switch. Brawlhalla for Android and iOS. Clan N for Xbox One and Switch. Cruel Band's Career for Switch. Drink More Glurp for Switch. Instant Sports Summer Games for Switch. Kukuro Days for Switch. Memory Lane for Switch. Swim Sanity for Switch. Ultra Food Mess for Switch. And Undermine for Xbox One. And finally, on the 7th, Fast and Furious Crossroads for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Grandia HD Collection for Switch. Railway Empire Complete Collection for PlayStation 4. And Swim Sanity for Xbox One.
Yeah, all I can say is I am sorry.
Yeah.
What the hell was I supposed to be excited for a Switch about?
As I was finishing...
time for my quick draw.
Yeah, and as I was finishing those releases, I was like, oh my god.
Because, Glock, do you want to play a Rider game on your Switch?
That
sure.
may or may not be subtitled in English.
It will be subtitled in English.
That would be great.
And it's a single-player action-adventure game with you playing as Double O's N01.
This looks good.
By the way, the trailer for it's in general chat if you want to grab the trailer real quick and watch it.
Okay, why double O's and then 01?
Okay, the reason for that is the gameplay in this trailer, while it is action-adventure, kind of like platforming kind of things in character action-based combat, there's also the use of the gadget memories and the Candroids for exploration and puzzle solving from the looks of it. So you'd use the Den sensor to scan an area and stuff like that. Guess what? Most of the other riders don't have anything close to that kind of equipment.
Also, it possibly, maybe, kind of could be considered a intentional 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of deal.
Yep. Also, Foundation X is presumably some sort of villain in this because the Foundation X Guardians from Build are in the trailer.
Huh.
I will give you the exact time code.
I love the form change on the fly.
124.
Oh, I'm coming up on it. I've been letting it run in the background without the sound because I don't know if it would get caught in Twitch's copyright.
There's no music on it.
Yeah,
there's none of the
Twitch copyright can be weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, the main villain of this is it has the Japanese voice actor for Dio voicing him. Unfortunately, Aruto's actor is the only one back for this. Shotaro, Philip, and Edgy have been recast by other voice actors from other stuff. Which they sound fine, but it is noticeable it's not them.
Wait, that's not Shotaro?
No. No, Shotaro does not have that voice.
Okay.
And Edgy does not have that high of a voice either.
Okay, Edgy I could tell.
Yeah.
Shotaro's, that's pretty close. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but he's not, he sounds older than he should be.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I could see that, though.
Yeah.
Because it's not like the end of their series, time just stops.
True.
It does still continue, so that would kind of make sense.
Yeah.
It's one of those, gosh, I want it now.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll use Double's different abilities, like you'll use Luna Joker to do platforming, to like hookshot your way across gaps. To do form changes for Double, it's a weapon wheel that you'll bring up and you'll swap on the fly.
Yeah, I saw that.
And you have opening moves when you swap.
Now, I'm curious of one thing.
Okay.
I wonder if we're going to get either 02 as one of 01's forms, or if that's going to be a DLC down the road.
This has at least up to Metal Cluster Hopper, because Hopper is in the trailer. But there's no hint of 02, but bear in mind, from a Famitsu article, which I linked an article in a Twitter thread just for some additional information, they are 90% complete with the game right now. So the game's not done. So it's very likely
it could be added in, or at the very least added in as like a day one patch kind of deal.
It could this game could have been designed with 02 already in play.
It depends on how much they knew about it beforehand.
True. Well, this is an internal studio at Bandai, or internal team at Bandai Namco Games, so
that's why I'm like, it depends on how much they know about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's possible they know everything.
Right.
But then again, it's possible that they've been playing it by ear too. Because you look, Double and O's, they could build them all the way.
Yep.
They could completely build their parts because there's nothing that's going to be new for them.
Yep.
01 might be the point that they're finishing up now, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's an on-rails flight segment where you're in the hard tube roiler shooting down the one giant Dopant monster from the series. So there are vehicle segments on the bikes. Also, another point for why Double and O's are in here is because the producer said that 01 inherited the genealogy of justice from Double and O's. Don't ask me what the fuck that means. I don't know what it means either, outside of potentially referencing that one Agito game I played on stream that I didn't like and was bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I just looked at something else there too. The opening movie.
It's directed by Sakamoto, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, there's also some in-game screenshots in the Twitter thread of like using the Den sensor for like look for something. And also Double fighting, I don't remember the name of that Dopant. It's one of the Sonizaki ones. Shit. Wow, I'm blanking on the names.
God, I love the form change wheel.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah. And it literally has every form.
Yeah, it's not all the half changes. It doesn't have Danger in Double Extreme. but I believe there's a rider gauge system that you build up that lets you access the big forms. There will also be a premium sound edition of this, because, by the way, this comes out in October.
No.
Oh, what?
I'm derping on her name, too.
Okay. Let me find it.
Now that's aggravating me.
Yep. Da-ba-da-ba-da. I was about to say it was Psychos.
Yeah.
Taboo!
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I was fixing to look it up myself.
Yep. There will be a premium sound edition that releases for, I think it's about $90. The regular edition is like $60. The sound edition comes with more or less a selection of songs, with more to come from 01 Double NO's soundtracks. So, more or less, everything you expect to be on that soundtrack is there. And there are also various background songs from those same series as well that will be included in this. And several digital art pieces, which are on the website, which one of those is... I know I saw it. The key art that's in like the third tweet in the thread. You get that. I think 2 images of double that invokes like the first shots of the opening, and I think the art for the cover might be one of them. I don't remember.
Okay, so maybe Destroy All Humans comes out today. Game Rant just went live saying Destroy All Humans, so maybe I don't know. I don't know who's right and who's wrong.
Who knows? Anyway, so what do you think, Locke, about this game?
It looks interesting. I would definitely play it.
I'm trying to get the third art.
Want it. I want it now.
Oh no! It's the thumbnail for the video. You get that art as well.
Ah.
Plus more to come, because I think also if you like get the game early, you get like 3 taunts with the characters, plus some equipment items like increase experience in your stamina. So yeah, honestly, this game looks really good. By the way, this got announced like yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No. Yeah.
I think it was. No,
Thursday.
Yeah.
It was announced Thursday.
Yeah.
I was just up Thursday morning and I just saw a tweet about a Rider game and I'm like, what? And then I see the tweets come in and I'm just like, what the fuck? This looks amazing. I'll be honest, this looks like exactly what I would pitch as what a Rider game should be. Like, this feels like it plays to the strengths of the franchise and is like, hey, you can use everything this Rider has in their arsenal now.
And I feel like it was maybe, I'm sure it's intentional, but it feels like it was pushed out far enough to where it actually can fully encompass all of 01 also.
Yep.
Which I know in the past has not really been a thing.
Yep. Because they've all came out at the start of the show, or close to the start of the show instead of close to the end of the show.
And I feel like that might be an advantage for it, because you literally have 3 riders that you can just utilize everything.
Yeah.
The whole playbook is out in the open.
Mm-hmm. And if you're curious about what the story of this is, more or less, there's a town that had a disaster happen that has some mysterious energy source, and our writers are off to investigate, and then they have to go deal with a big bad guy. That's kind of it. That's all we really know, but that's kind of the short and long of the story we need to know. We're off to go investigate Mystery of Town that had disaster and mystery energy source. Oh no, villain! We probably have to blow him up because he's probably going to try to take over the world or something. It's not like we're doing anything really complicated here, folks. The only other thing I have to say is someone I follow on Twitter, Rai Collector Shuki, said that since they got the engine built, he'd like this to see yearly and this keep going. So, like, the next game would be Saber Forza Wizard. More or less, the next Railroad Rider plus 2 Phase 2 riders. Or at the very least, in my opinion, just do a combination of 3 riders.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning to that.
Granted, that would mean we get a Gaim Drive plus, like, the 3rd Railroad Rider.
True.
And that kind of actually sounds really good.
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
It really does, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like... I almost kind of feel like maybe... not... I know you said something about this too, maybe not doing it yearly, but doing it bi-yearly.
Yeah, that's what I replied with. It was just like, let this be bi-yearly, still keep, like, the next Railroad Rider as the star, and have it come out, like, closer to the, like, kind of closer to when, like, the winter movie comes out.
I've got a different kind of take on that. The engine is already built.
Presumably, yeah.
Why couldn't we maybe see something kind of a merge of the two? Maybe have a DLC come out in the in-between year that, at the very least, adds the new rider in.
Possibly, yeah.
And I mean, ideally, I would like to say, okay, we'd have, like, Saber and pick 2 of the riders. Maybe pick 2 of phase 1 riders.
Yeah.
And bring them into it. And kind of use the DLC to maybe bring the phase 1 riders into play, and then use the new games as the reason to bring phase 2 in.
That could work. Especially since apparently Saber is supposed to look like Agito off someone's description.
Which would actually fit perfect then.
Yeah. But yeah, this is coming PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, so depending on the platform you have, you can pick this up. There's no pre-orders for it yet, but you will have to import this most likely. This probably won't get a US release, but it will get an English subtitled release, like the previous Climax Fighters games have. The best place to do that would be Play Asia. Just go to their website whenever pre-orders go up for this. Whenever you see the not Japanese version of it, go up for pre-order, just pre-order it there.
Now, I'm wondering, that's probably the most definitive way of getting it, but yep. I'm wondering, because a lot of the Switch titles, even though you can only get them like in one store, usually the digital is just completely region free. If you buy it in the Japanese store, it's going to have all the subtitles with it. I wonder if they're going to do that with it. If they are, that would probably be the way I go about it.
Yeah. I don't know if the premium sound edition will be on the eShop, which that might be a problem because, like, if you want the proper music, because if it's anything like the Battle Ride War games, if you didn't have the premium sound edition, you more or less got generic music, I think. You didn't get the proper music. Maybe, I don't know. I've completely forgotten what the core difference is on those.
I feel like I might, as much as I want it, I might wind up waiting until it's out. That way I can figure out the best method.
Yeah. I kind of want to pick this up for PlayStation 4 just because that might be the better performing version, but it might not matter, in all honesty. I think I would still want to pick it up on PlayStation 4 just because, hey, I got the Battle Rider games on PlayStation. Keep consistent about that. I have a weird thing about trying to keep consistent about that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is coming out.
Also, when is it coming out?
October 29th of this year.
Okay, the tweet said the 10th.
Did it?
Yeah, that's why I'm
it might have been a typo, because it's not the 10th, it's the 29th. Yeah, it's coming out October 29th. It's just not coming out the 10th. That's a typo.
Okay. Oh, pre-orders start Monday.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I just pulled up a different article about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 29th, definite. That was a typo.
Depending on the finances at the moment. Finances going forward.
Same.
Same. Incredibly the same at the moment. If I can get this, I will stream this entire game. Guarantee.
If I can get it within a reasonable time frame of you, this might wind up knocking out whatever's in the co-op slot at the moment.
Probably. Like, especially if this is getting an English subtitled release, I am incredibly doing the English subtitled release. Because the Battle Rider War games never got that. The Climax Fighter games have got that, but I had no interest in a 3D arena fighter, which I actually got in the conversation with someone about this on the Soda Pop Discord when this came out. And he was saying, it's like, oh, this looks like the most creative game we've gotten for Rider in a while. And I'm like, yeah, because they were chasing trends for the last few years. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, Climax Fighter games were tracing the 3D arena trend, which was really popular in Japan at the moment. That's why we got, like, Pokken Tournament.
True.
Because, like, their 3D arena fighters were dime a dozen in Japanese arcades a while back. And then Summon Ride was chasing the Toys for Life craze when it happened during Drive's tenure.
Where all of our Skylanders and Amiibos and all that fun stuff came into play.
Skylanders, Infinity, Amiibo, all of it was happening. So it's been a while since they could do a game that instead of trying to fit the franchise into a genre, they've picked a genre that fits the franchise and built the game around the riders and around their power sets and more creative uses of them than just, all right, you have a move set, here's a move list, go beat up the other person, more or less. Like, there's more to this game than just do move and beat up enemy.
Do move and finish game.
Yeah. And also, this is like the first game we've had in quite some time with a very small roster. Like, I know people are like, I don't like it not being all riders, and this is a weird roster, but like, it being 3 fucking riders means there's probably some good depth to these 3 riders. And there's been time put into them, and meaning the levels have also been designed around them and them alone. And it hasn't had to be like, okay, we have to compensate for like 20 people, so the levels have to be very generic.
Which actually will be a blessing for the game. Yeah,
because I emphasize this every time I talk to someone about this, is that dev time is limited. 3 riders is a really good number for dev time, because it means, hey, with this game can fully utilize them instead of being very generic and not super leaning into the unique capabilities of these characters. Because we can't design a level to take advantage of 20 different riders. That's impossible on the year to 2 year time frame that these games are probably developed on.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't want this franchise. If it does become a franchise of Memory of Heroes 2 or whatever the sequel will end up being called, because they usually try to go 2 to 3 games for a system unless it spectacularly fails. But considering this game has got a lot of hype around it and has gotten a lot of attention, I doubt it. I don't see this game falling on its face as hard as Summon Ride did. Like, if they could, we will probably at least get a sequel out of this with 3 more riders, I hope, and not more. Maybe 4, but I don't want a stupid amount of riders. Please, we have enough games that have stupid amounts of riders. I want something more contained.
Like I said, I feel like the best course of action, if they wanted to do more riders in the game, would be, like I said, maybe do a in-between year with just DLC of them. Because that would be less dev time needed, so maybe that would work out. But yeah, I'm with you. Let's not try to throw everything in the kitchen sink in there. If it does good with it like it is, leave it.
Yeah. Even if we don't get secondary riders, I'm okay with that.
I mean, that's the other option they could do for the in-between, too.
Yeah. Which, just imagine a game that's just like, alright, here's what the primary riders do. Here's what Terry, Date or Goto, it would probably end up being Date because they prefer Date for the video games.
I mean...
And Fua we're up to.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
That's a good mix.
Yes, please.
And if we put Yaiba in there, since, like, it would be easy, like, if you could get, like, Goto as Birth Proto and Yaiba as Valkyrie, since both of those wouldn't be too far off design from Date and Fua, like, you could probably get away with getting 5 riders in there.
Easily.
But yeah, this is the most excited I've been for a rider game for a while. And I am happy all sorts of other people are excited about this. I wish more people would actually sit down and talk video game on this instead of just be like, oh, hey, this exists, it's cool, bye. Like, there's stuff to dig in on this. Especially when the Foundation X stuff took a while for people to catch on because it's a blink and you miss it moment in the trailer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it did kind of slip past me too. But it makes sense. In all seriousness.
Yeah.
Because the only one of the 3 that doesn't have direct ties is 01. So, I mean, that's not too hard to write that in.
Yeah. And also, he seems to be the one, because the dialogue in the English version of the trailer doesn't seem aware of there being other riders in this town. So he's just like, wait, what do you mean other riders? So it means 01 is probably the last person to arrive at this city to investigate. So our tutorial level is probably 01.
Probably. Which I'm fine with, because, I mean, current rider.
And it make the most sense. Because you could introduce a lot of things with 01 easily. Because then, when you get to swap over to double or O's, then you tutorialize the gadget memories, the Candroid stuff, and that's the thing you focus on when you introduce them, is just introducing the investigation stuff. Again, smart game design. Like, I know we do this stuff bi-weekly a lot for a lot of years, so this stuff is easy for us to see, but like I wish people would see more of the game design stuff going on in here. Of like, okay, these writers are here because of this. This stuff is here because of this, that, and the other. Like, a lot of this game makes more sense when you see it from a game design perspective.
Oh yeah, and makes it look so much better too.
Yes. But anyway, that is my not quick draw. Incredibly not quick draw.
I mean,
Tommy, you don't have one, correct?
Correct.
So that's it for the stream, folks. Tomorrow/today is us watching more Ichigo and finally getting Hongo back in the show.
Yay.
But only the last episode of our current batch.
Yeah. Oof.
With a very confusing plan that I'm like, wait. I'm entirely confused by your plan. On both sides of the conversation on this one. Also, say bye to Zol. He's done for the show.
I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't keep him around forever.
Then Wednesday, you're doing the rest of Halo 2.
At least more Halo 2. Probably the rest of Halo 2.
Yeah.
At least the first mission with the Scarab Skull on. Just to see how many times I kill myself.
Thursday, we're wrapping up Going Commando and maybe starting up your arsenal while we're at it. I don't know. That depends. Depends on if I get stuck on a boss fight for like 2 hours.
Like you did the first time.
I didn't realize that boss fight was such an asshole. Oh god. Why is that boss fight so hard?
I just watched and I'm like, oh. Okay. It's one of those, to be fair, that makes me feel less bad about taking the entire stream on Roxas.
Yeah. Granted, it's worse because I've actually played Ratchet & Clank before. It's been a while, but I played it before, so I've beaten that final boss. Because I've beaten all the Ratchet & Clank games. The other files you see are New Game Plus files. Which is why their bolt counts look weird. It's like I think the one for the first game. It's like played for 2 minutes, have 5,000 bolts. Wait a minute. How? It's a New Game Plus file. They carried over.
No, so you need to just tell everyone you're a speedrunner.
No, I am not Zim by any stretch of the imagination. I can't pull off the shit he pulls off in Ratchet & Clank games. I can't pull off infinite backflips to skip the entire levels.
Wait, that's a thing in the speedrun?
Yes.
Ooh.
It's not. I don't think it's backflip. I think it's like some weird manipulation of like the helipack jump that lets you just like super jump more or less and skip parts of the level. It's ridiculous.
It sounds like
I can't do that. Yeah, the Ratchet & Clank games are busted on speedruns. Busted. Friday will be us starting Phantom Hourglass. Yay! By the time we're done with this, I will have played every not NES Zelda.
Very true.
Or at least all the core Zeldas that aren't on the NES. Well, oh no, I can't say that. I have played the first one on the Switch Online service. So the only one I would have played is Zelda 2.
Which I don't think you'll be missing much.
Probably not. Although people have gotten like delayed appreciation on that one.
I think the randomizer has helped on that.
Is there a randomizer for Zelda 2?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Saturday, hopefully, will be City Mist as long as Glock doesn't get swarmed with work.
Or just falls off the face of the planet.
And the void consumes him. And we have to take a week to... We're saying if City of Mist will be next week unless the void consumes you.
It all depends on work. Work has picked up for the last couple weeks, but I mean, it's on Saturday, so I should be good.
Yep. Like I said, the void of work will consume you if needed.
Look, got it for me, okay? You can't blame me on that one.
But yeah, Sunday will be more Ichigo, where we finally get our double riders with Ichigo in his form change or his upgrade. Because by the way, Hongo's just gonna be in a different suit when we start.
Of course he is.
It's the Shakajima? I can't think of the pronunciation for it, but it's a mid-tier upgrade before we get to his Shin Ichigo form that you know from every appearance past this series. So we're not too far from the modern looks of the two of them. But yeah, anything else?
I can't think of nothing.
Alright, if you like what you see and drop a follow, really appreciate it. Chipping away at that affiliate goal. At Saloon on Twitter gets you updates when we go live. Next Mission Point Discord and chat. Gets you Discord link. Drop by, say hi. We'll see you tomorrow.